Hi guys, my name is Ashley Coates, and my subtopic for this assignment was symbolism and allegory as it pertains to death photography. The three artists that I will be talking about today are Ori Gerst, Dorothea Lange, and Gottfried Helnwein. Now before I get started, I just wanted to say that my final artist, he photographed actual deceased subjects in his work, so I would highly recommend viewer discretion for this. So for my first artist, we have Ori Gerst. Now Ori Gerst was born in Tel Aviv, Israel in 1967, and he studied photography at the University of Westminster in London. Today he's a professor of photography at the University for the Creative Arts in Rochester, Kent, which is in England. So what you're seeing right now is an image from his series entitled Time After Time. Time After Time reflects on the themes of death and destruction, while alluding to more traditional, less violent still life paintings and photography. Each photograph in this series, it depicts a floral arrangement, which is based off of a still life painting by the artist Henry Fantin Latour. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So in order to create this series, Gerst attached these multiple little pyrotechnic devices to petals and leaves. And then after freeze-drying them in some liquid nitrogen, he filmed and blew up the arrangement. I believe that he filmed these images digitally, and then he was able to print them out on photographic paper to get the images. His work is dramatic and violent and very compelling to watch, and it explores the tensions between beauty and violence, life and death, as well as still photography versus moving film. In fact, without photography, we wouldn't actually be able to see this image, as the human eye cannot react so quickly to explosions like this. Like I said earlier, he had to film this and then print it out in order to get the photos. And his work also brings up the topics of death and destruction, and also with destruction being beautiful. As a viewer, I am instantly drawn into the chaos that's present in his photographs. And in a way, Gerst reminds us that everything beautiful will someday pass away. So here are some other photos from his series. And they're just so beautiful to look at. Now, my second artist that I wanted to talk about is Dorothea Lange. Now, Dorothea is a very popular female photographer. She's also a photojournalist. Most people have heard about her. Personally, I first heard about her when I was in third grade, learning about the Great Depression and the Dust Bowl of the 1930s. Her photography beautifully captures and humanizes the consequences of the Great Depression. So here's one of her most popular photos, Migrant Mother. Here's some more photos that she took during the 1930s. And I wanted to bring up the fact that Lange was very skilled in being able to see her subjects as both individuals and representatives of bigger issues. You can see that the image of this woman, this child right here, she seems very relaxed. And one thing about Lange that I learned while I was researching her is that she would fiddle around with her camera and the lighting until her subjects were relaxed. Because of this, her care led to thousands of images that allowed people to connect on a deeper level because they were more honest and relaxed. You're not going to get anywhere if your photographs are high stress. In this way, she was able to connect her viewers with her subjects. Here's some more photos. And then finally, the last artist that I wanted to talk about is Gottfried Helnwein. Helnwein is an Austrian-Irish painter, photographer, and installation artist. His subject matter is on the human condition and has been known to cause a lot of controversy amongst those in a conservative crowd. That's because his work can get pretty gaudy. as you will see in the next few slides. So what you're looking at is an installation from 1997. It's called Poems. And Poems was a series of photographic pictures of people who died a very violent death. He photographed photographs of dead people over and over again until the photos became barely legible. So as I click through the images, you'll be able to see what I mean. You can make out the subject, but it's not clear. Helnwein's work is not only fascinating to look at, but it's extremely provocative. His subjects in these photos experienced quite violent deaths. By showcasing his victims this way, Helnwein is able to bring up conversations about photography's relationship to death and the social appropriateness of actually photographing a dead body. He reminds us that violence can be associated with death, and often is, but there's also a little bit of beauty in that, and I just was very fascinated with these photos. So thank you so much for watching, and I will go ahead and attach my bibliography to this. Thanks.